Hello, this is the weekly digest of the top stories and key events from Uzbekistan in the last 7 days. President Shavkat Mirziyoyev paid an official visit to Moscow on October 7 and 8 to participate in the Commonwealth of Independent States Summit. Upon his arrival at Vnukovo Airport, he was greeted by Maxim Oreshkin, assistant to the President of the Russian Federation, and other high-ranking officials. During the CIS Summit on October 8, chaired by Russian President Vladimir Putin, President Mirziyoyev introduced a series of initiatives aimed at boosting economic cooperation and technological development among CIS member states. The summit gathered leaders from Azerbaijan, Belarus, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, Tajikistan, and Turkmenistan, alongside Armenian Prime Minister Nikol Pashinyan and CIS Secretary General Sergei Lebedev. Key topics of discussion included security, economic collaboration, and the advancement of digital technologies across the CIS. President Mirziyoyev proposed hosting the CIS Economic Council meeting and an Innovative Development Forum in Tashkent in 2025, organizing a conference on artificial intelligence in Samarkand, launching a Days of Culture celebration among Commonwealth states, developing an annual joint program in healthcare, education, art, cinema, tourism, and sports. One of the key outcomes of the summit was the adoption of Uzbekistan's initiative for 2025-2027 cooperation program on de-radicalization. Following the summit's successful conclusion, President Mirziyoyev departed for Tashkent. In addition to the summit, Uzbekistan's Foreign Minister Bakhtiyor Saidov participated in the regular session of the CIS Council of Foreign Ministers, held in Moscow on October 7th. Saidov joined his counterparts from Azerbaijan, Armenia, Belarus, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, Russia, Tajikistan, and Turkmenistan to discuss strengthening cooperation among member states. In a statement posted on his Telegram channel, Saidov emphasized the importance of historical ties that unite CIS countries, calling them a solid foundation for continued collaboration. He underscored the potential for deepening cooperation, particularly in the economic sector. The ministers addressed several pressing issues, including enhancing connectivity between CIS countries, creating favorable conditions for trade, resolving escalating global conflicts, and uniting efforts to ensure peace and prosperity. Regional and global matters of significance were also discussed, highlighting the CIS commitment to promoting stability and cooperation. Alisher Tukhtaev has been appointed as the new ambassador of Uzbekistan to Pakistan. According to the information agency Dunyo, Tukhtaev has already arrived in Islamabad to assume his duties. Prior to his appointment, Tukhtaev served as an advisor to the Minister of Foreign Affairs of Uzbekistan. His experience also includes roles at the Institute for Strategic and Interregional Studies under the President of Uzbekistan. Tukhtaev succeeds Oybek Usmanov, who led the Uzbek embassy in Pakistan from 2021 to 2024. The transition marks the continuation of Uzbekistan's diplomatic engagement with Pakistan, a key partner in the region. Uzbekistan's official reserve assets increased by $1.98 billion in September, reaching a record high of $49.139 billion, according to the data published by Central Bank of Uzbekistan. This marks the third consecutive month of reserve growth. In July, reserves grew by $1.06 billion, followed by a $1.75 billion increase in August and another rise of $1.98 billion in September. These are the highest figures recorded since 2023, when the statistical tracking of reserves began. Foreign currency reserves also grew by $518.3 million over the past month, from $8.19 billion to $8.709 billion. The physical volume of gold at the reserves remains steady at 12 million troy ounces. However, the value of gold reserves rose by $1.46 billion, from $30.4 billion to a record of $31.86 billion. It's worth noting that gold prices reached an all-time high on the New York Complex Exchange on September 12th, surpassing $2,580 per troy ounce. As of September 1, Uzbekistan's foreign exchange reserves had increased by $1.75 billion, reaching $39.15 billion, primarily due to the rise in gold prices. Uzbekistan will undergo a transition period of 2 to 3 years as it joins the World Trade Organization, according to Mubin Mirzayev, deputy head of the State Tax Committee. This phase is intended to mitigate potential negative effects on large enterprises as the country aligns its trade and tax regulations with WTO standards. Speaking at the I Am an Entrepreneur open session at Debate Hall, Mirzayev detailed the key legislative changes that will accompany Uzbekistan's accession to the WTO. One of the major shifts will be the equalization of VAT and excise tax rates for both domestic markets and imports. Additionally, the preferential tax rates and other benefits currently available to local enterprises will be phased out. At the same time, there will be no new tax advantages for imports. Custom duties will be set according to agreements with other WTO member states. For small businesses, this is a positive change. It enhances competition and generally facilitates doing business, noted Mirzayev. However, he acknowledged that large enterprises enterprises may face challenges as a result of the reforms. The transition period is designed to soften the impact of removing tax benefits which were originally introduced to support domestic production. Depending on the negotiations with other countries, this period will last between 2 to 3 years. While the process of joining the WTO will present challenges, including increased competition, Mirziyoyev emphasized the benefits it will bring. Currently, Uzbekistan's export goods are subject to high tariffs, which limit the country's ability to expand its market reach. WTO membership will help reduce these barriers, creating new opportunities for Uzbek exports. President Mirziyoyev, in his August dialogue with business leaders, highlighted WTO membership as a crucial part of Uzbekistan's reform agenda. He stressed that protectionist policies are limiting the country's potential for growth and that WTO accession is a key step toward the economic growth. A staggering 83% of Tashkent's population resides in areas where air pollution exceeds safe levels by 6 times, according to a recent report released by the World Bank in collaboration with Uzbekistan's Ministry of Ecology, Environmental Protection and Climate Change. The report, titled Air Quality Assessment for Tashkent and the Roadmap for Air Quality Management Improvement in Uzbekistan, outlines the critical quality challenges facing the capital. The study indicates that the annual average concentration of PM2.5 particles in Tashkent's air reaches 38.8 micrograms per cubic meter, significantly surpassing the World Health Organization's recommended level of 5 micrograms per cubic meter. This level of pollution is associated with approximately 3,000 premature deaths every year, primarily due to strokes, ischemic heart disease, and lower respiratory infections. The economic burden of air pollution in Tashkent is estimated at $488.4 million annually. Monitoring data from 3 reference automatic stations in Tashkent, 2 managed by the Uzbekistan Hydrometeorological Center and 1 by the US Embassy, reveals that PM2.5 levels peak in the evenings after 8 p.m. and mornings, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. This pattern may correlate with residential heating activities and morning traffic jams. Alarmingly, only 38% of Tashkent's area meets the first interim target set by the World Health Organization for PM2.5 concentration. Yet this area is home to just 17% of the city's population. Consequently, the majority, 83% of Tashkent residents, live in zones with elevated air pollution, facing significant health risks. The primary sources of air pollution in Tashkent include residential and commercial heating, contributing 28% of annual PM2.5 emissions. Transportation, responsible for 12% of emissions in winter and 25% during late summer and early autumn. Industry and urban dust. The report also outlines a comprehensive roadmap for improving air quality management in Uzbekistan, including recommendations for updating air quality standards, revising regulatory frameworks, developing a national air quality management strategy, and establishing a coordination mechanism. Additionally, the proposed government policies aim to enhance air quality across various sectors, including industry, transportation, and heating, as well as measures to reduce wind-blown dust. Experts suggest that emissions from the heating sector could be reduced by improving the quality of fuel and the efficiency of heating appliances, implementing energy efficiency measures for buildings, transitioning to more environmentally friendly heating sources. One of the sidelines of an international forum in Ashgabat, the President of Uzbekistan, Shavkat Mirziyoyev, held a meeting with President of Iran, Masoud Pezeshkian. During the talks, the two leaders expressed satisfaction with the ongoing active interactions at various levels, noting the increase in trade volume and the growing number of joint ventures between the two countries. The parties emphasized the importance of supporting and swiftly implementing cooperation projects, as well as expanding the list of products covered under the preferential trade agreement. In addition to economic matters, Mirziyoyev and Pezeshkian exchanged views on pressing international and regional issues, highlighting the significance of continued collaboration on the global stage. Uzbekistan's Central Election Commission has announced that early voting for the upcoming parliamentary elections will take place from October 16th to 23rd, 2024. The early voting will allow citizens to cast their ballots ahead of the official election day on October 27th. Polling stations will be open from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. on weekdays and from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. on weekends. Additionally, for Uzbek citizens abroad, early voting at diplomatic missions and consulates will follow the local time of the host countries from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. The Commission has also taken steps to ensure that the election process is inclusive for people with disabilities. On October 27th, elections will be held for members of the Legislative Chamber of Uzbekistan's Oliy Majlis, as well as regional, city, and district councils. That's all for this week. See you next time. Bye.